Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max&JuanCast live week 5 pick'em with, as always, my co-host.
I thought I was going to do the intro this week. I'm Max, by the way, for all those who don't know. Thank you guys for watching. Um, tell me what happened in the weather on Monday in LA. What was
Oh
happening?
my god. Shut up. Shut up. I
Bolt
don't
up. The Lightning.
Oh
Don't cue
man.
up the intro when I'm monologuing.
That's the only control I have,
Don't hold
dog. That's
me like that. What happened? Where were y'all? Why weren't y'all awake?
It's all right, bro. It's one loss. We all right, bro. We 3-1. What's your thoughts on the game before we go into a slate of stuff that we got for today?
First off, how the hell is there a delay when it's a dome? I don't understand that. The Lightning. I mean, I feel like that was a sign from day like the first moment. Lightning plus the Chargers, they gonna play well. I will say this about the Raiders, and I said this on your show with Joe, which I have to say was great. I've been checking it out. Just as the Raiders have been doing good. I feel like a year ago the Raiders lose this game. I mean, excuse me. I feel like they get blown out if they start like this, but they fought back. There was a chance for them to like come all the way back. Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I feel like the key moment in the game was it was 14-21. The Raiders got the ball back. They hit a big play downfield with Henry Ruggs. I believe it was
Mm-hmm.
about 30 to 40 yards.
50, I think.
Uh,
But yeah, you're right.
yeah, it was a huge game. We're already, in their territory. On third down, I believe it was like third down and 4, third down and 5, around there. Guard drops back, doesn't have anyone open. The play that Joey Bosa was talking shit about, talking about how he cradled the ball even though no one was open. But it came down to that play, in my opinion. I feel like that was the turning point. We had the Chargers on the ropes. In my opinion, in the second half, I didn't think Justin Herbert, besides the fourth down conversions, didn't play all that well. I felt like we're getting to him. He had a mismatch on the outsides with Mike Williams. He refused to throw it that way, whether it was him or Joe Lombardi, who knows. But I didn't feel like the Chargers played very well in that third quarter, to be specific. But they were the better team that night. They played great in the first half. They shut us out. They had something planned up on defense. They're getting the car. Uh, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's one game. I love the way we fought back though. We showed like there's nothing wrong with the Raiders as far as like, oh, they're pretenders. I don't get how anyone comes out of that game thinking that. I just think it's a team that, you know, came out in the first half flat, didn't have anything going. Penalties weren't going our way. Second half, we showed why we were a 3-0 team. Just ran out of time, unfortunately.
I'd be proud if I'm a Raiders fan of how they played in the second half. Obviously, the first half, a lot to be desired. But look, coming into the season, we both thought the Raiders would be improved. We didn't see them getting off to this type of start. But if you just look at the signs, and by signs, I mean look at the emergence of Henry Ruggs. This is a guy you draft in the first round. And would you pick him, ninth or seventh?
Yeah.
Does he look? He looks the part this year.
Look, he looks legit, man. He every single game he's been coming out to play. I mean, people are gonna say, first half, like the Raiders do though. First half, it just seems like we just don't. This is a reoccurring problem. Miami down 14-0, Baltimore down 14-0. Pittsburgh, we weren't down in that game, but it took us a while to get going. And in the Charger game, it came back and bit us in the ass. But Henry Ruggs comes out to play, man. He's been balling. He showed why he was deserving of that draft pick. Like, he's amazing.
I will say one thing about the Bosa. I believe he is right, but I believe that statement you can apply to a lot of quarterbacks. When they start to get hit a lot, they kind of panic. Uh, Tom Brady at this point of his career is, you could say, is the biggest case that when he gets hit and he starts to see the pass rush, he
Yeah.
protects himself. He just throws the ball into the ground instead of Derek Carr, who just swallows it. So what's the difference? I think Joey Bosa is trying to get into his head. I don't really think Derek Carr's that afraid. I've seen Carr stand in there and take the hit and throw a ball plenty of times. I wouldn't
Yeah.
really worry about it. He is talking shit. It's a rivalry. I get it. I kind of like it,
It
but
was
I just
stupid
don't
though.
think
He was kind
Bosa's
of
assessment is correct.
he
Like,
was kind of on one though. He was kind of on one
well,
just in general
Bosa's
in
kind
that
of
press
been on one.
conference.
I've always thought Bosa's a pretty honest guy, so I think he's just speaking for what he actually thinks. But I think he's just a little off on this one. And he
Yeah.
got a taunting foul or a personal foul for talking crap to the official. I think
Mhm.
he was just kind of mad about something that happened.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't think it's because of trash talk, like he felt some type of way towards Carr. I don't know, man. Carr just gets a lot of hate, unwanted hate, to be honest, in my opinion. The guy can't do anything right unless he's playing at an elite high level. There's no middle ground with Carr. There's nothing. Nothing gets taken to context. Nothing. It's either he's really good and the Raiders are 3-0, or he's the worst quarterback out there. Get a new quarterback. He's the problem. Can't
Yeah.
deal with Carr. I hate it. It's something I get so annoyed with. Bosa, I think you're a great player, amazing pass rusher. Not questioning your talent. I think that was stupid what you said. It sounded ignorant, in my opinion, but that's mine.
I like it, man. I thought it was a good game though. The Raiders made it interesting. Look, I liked what we did last week one where we bounced around.
Mm.
I want to start with the Thursday night game because I think it'll be a good one. But after that,
Look,
let's bounce around, bro. I'm down for it. I like that suggestion you had.
look, just for the sake of, I mean, yeah, we could bounce around, but as you guys can see with the thumbnail, we're gonna be doing things a little bit different today. All right, we're gonna be doing bounce around, whatever. But for the most part, that's the plan for today. Make sure to subscribe, like the video. We had some problems last week. YouTube Illuminati took us down. We're showing the
Yeah,
highlights.
we were wanted men. We got the target off our back. One, you might want to just say it one more time because I don't think I heard you, and I'm not sure if they could. So maybe just give the cliff notes of what you were saying when the graphic was up.
Gotcha. So the graphic, I mean, as you guys can see, it was power rankings, pick 'em, and we're gonna be doing report cards. Report cards, we're gonna be doing them while we pick the game. So, for instance, Thursday night, it is what the
Rams
Cardinal,
at Seattle.
yeah, Rams at Seattle. So we'll be doing the report cards for the Rams and the Seahawks while we pick the game. Just a more efficient way, more fast way. You know, we'll get it done like that. I'm excited because we're 4 games in. Typically with a 17 game season, we'll be a quarter ways through. I know it's 18, but we're there. We're almost there, basically.
We're
It's been going so fast.
it's like a little under a quarter. It's like a quarter pounder. It's not really a quarter pound, you know. It's like a little we skimping a little, you know.
Yeah. So let's start off Thursday night, like you said. The Los Angeles Rams, they're 3-1, traveling to Seattle, who are 2-2. Rams coming off of the loss, obviously. Seahawks coming off of the win. Now, I want to start with the grades.
Okay.
For the Seahawks, for me, I got the Seahawks. I gave them a C minus, and
Really?
it's yeah, I gave them a C minus. They're 2-2 at the end of the day. It could be a lot worse, you know, but I think they're kind of the opposite of the Raiders, kind of. Um, the Raiders like to not show up in the first half, but they show up in the second. The Seahawks love to show up in the first, but they have complete meltdowns in the second half. And they're really lucky to be 2-2. I felt like they got lucky with the 49er win, and the first game of the season, I believe they won, correct?
Yes, it was against the Colts.
Yes, against the Colts. So those were their 2 wins. Their 2 losses were bad though. Like they lost against the Vikings and they lost against the
Titans.
Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
So both of those were losses were second half meltdowns. So C minus, it's not an F. I'm really curious to see what you gave them.
I went with the B minus, and for that reason, it could be worse. Yes, it could be better, but they're 2-2. They haven't faced like the easiest schedule. They should be, honestly. You can make a case they should be 4-0. So I think they will get their like crap together, so to speak.
Yeah. And on the Ram side, I gave them an A minus. It would have been an A plus, but you got to account for the Cardinals loss. It was a bad loss, but not every team's going to go undefeated. You're going to have weeks where you just come out and, you're dry. But that still doesn't get away from the fact that they have a great defense. Their offense is amazing with Matthew Stafford. Cooper Kupp is a fucking god. But, I mean, the Rams are solid, man. A minus.
I went with the Nave for all the same reasons. I gave them a little bit more of a slack just because they're like a new quarterback, new system. They're kind of redoing stuff. They just got to find some running backs, man, who are dynamic. That's all they really need on this team.
Yeah. And going into the game, now we'll pick it. This one was kind of tough to picking because it's a short week. They're coming off of a battle of an NFC West division game. What are you thinking, Max?
Exactly what you said, though. I was thinking that too. It's just they both had tough division games. It doesn't matter the score. It was a tough game. I'm a little worried. Gerald Everett has COVID-19, but he should be good to go for Thursday. They're going to test him tomorrow or today. They're testing him today. He should be good. DK Metcalf's banged up. On the Rams side, Tyler Higbee's banged up. Daryl Henderson, we know he is a game time decision with the ribs.
Yeah.
This is a tough game to pick. There's no doubt. I want to go. I think I'm going to have to go with the Rams, though, just because I can't trust Seattle, man. There's too many defensive miscommunications. Like, I know Deebo Samuel's stats looked good, Juan. If you factor out one blown coverage, he doesn't have the big game. Let's take away 80 yards, a touchdown, and one catch. So that 150 yards goes to 76 yards. So I'm just saying he's a great player. I'm saying like the stats were overblown because Seattle just does stupid shit every week. Yeah. And I don't trust him in second halves. And Sean McVay, if he's leading in the first half, what's going to happen in the second half?
Exactly. And Rams coming off a loss, so they're going to come out. I got the Rams 31-21. What's your score?
I got the Rams 24-20. Obviously, this has been a theme his whole career. Can they protect Russell Wilson? And especially, there's one guy, a.k.a. Aaron Donald, who has tortured him his whole career. Like, they have no answer for him. And they combine that with, hey, Leonard Floyd's there. They got other guys coming off. Ashawn Robinson, Sebastian Joseph Day. I just don't have faith the Seahawks can protect Russ. And if they can't protect him, they're going to lose the game.
Right. All right. I like it. Okay. You said you wanted to spread around and go all over the place.
Yeah, let's do it.
I say we should go to the Cleveland Browns, who are 3-1, traveling to Los Angeles to a Charger team that's red hot. They're 3-1 also, coming off of the big win against the Raiders on Monday Night Football. Let's start off with the grades of the season so far for both of these teams. Chargers, I got them at an A. It would be an A plus if they would have beat the Cowboys. What scares me about this team is kicking and special teams. Like that's what really it is. And they're kind of young. Like Herbert, at times you've seen him under pressure. There's just some things that a veteran quarterback knows that he doesn't. It just takes time. The more time playing, the more experience he's going to get. But they're greatly coached. Offense is great. Defense is great. That's really it. I mean, I hate the Chargers, but there's no doubt you got to give them an A.
What's your grade for the Browns?
For the Browns, I got an A also. They're both A teams.
So I have the same thing. They both got A's from me. I don't really give a plus if you're undefeated or if you're 0-4. It doesn't guarantee an F. I just think both teams have looked good. The Browns, honestly, if you want to give them an A plus, because they did everything right. They weren't supposed to be Kansas City, and they were right in the game. And the Chargers, I knocked off the plus grade just because, hey, they kind of squandered the game at Dallas. They should have won the game. They were going to win the game. They had some timely turnovers. But look, if you're a fan of either team, you're happy. Like, this is amazing. This is a weird matchup to me for the Chargers going into the pick'em aspect of it. What do the Cleveland Browns do best, one? on offense?
Run the ball.
What are you most scared about the Chargers defense and stopping?
Running the ball. They
Yeah.
did it last week, but I think it was more the Raiders couldn't run the ball. But
I
that's
want to
what.
say this is a little different of an animal than the Raiders,
Yeah,
just with Nick
exactly.
Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and the amazing O line.
But I think they can do it because look, one thing that I have written down for the Browns, the offense kind of scares me. I know Jarvis Landry is still out. He's going to be out for a long time. But how does this team play while down? How do they respond? What's going to happen when Baker actually has to throw the ball around and make plays? I know he proved it last year at the end of the season, but we're yet to see it this year. The last time we seen it, it didn't look too good in Kansas City.
I understand what you're saying. And what about the Odell Baker connection? To me, I don't know what it is. Baker can't get on the same page as Odell. There was a play last week where it was like a 60-yard bomb that he just didn't throw to Odell and it would have been a touchdown.
Yeah. We'll see, man. Let's get to picking this game. It's tough. It was the hardest one to pick. That's why I kind of went to it first. I got the Browns, though, in a close one. 23-24. Browns.
I got the Chargers winning 31-20. I'm going with the Chargers for a fifth week in a row. I realize they're not going to go undefeated.
Are you a Charger fan now?
I live in LA, so I think I have a right to claim the Chargers.
Oh, jeez. That's terrible.
Look, I know you're mad because there was lightning on Monday and there was lightning in the stadium and the lightning clapped up the Raiders' ass. So let's just be real.
You and your stupid Chargers. I can't stand you no more, man.
As you say that, my dad is playing with the Raider phone. I'm gonna tell him to smash it if you keep acting up.
What happened to the Eagles, though? What happened?
We
to
still
fly
here.
Eagles
We still
fly?
losing. We just flying closer to the ground right now. That's all. That's the problem. We just flying a little
Don't
too.
let me find
too
out
close
you
to the
jumping
sun.
shit.
No,
Don't let me
I ain't
find
jumping.
out.
I can't have an AFC team.
No, you
Okay.
can't.
All right, then I retract that statement. Don't bolt up.
All right, well let's stick in the AFC, okay? Talking about AFC West. Sunday Night Football, man. It is a great one. Back-to-back weeks, great games. Buffalo Bills 3-1 at Kansas City, man. The Chiefs, who are 2-2, they bounced back last week, beating your Philadelphia Eagles.
They got right.
They got right. Got right. Get right game.
Theme of the Eagles year this year is going to be get other teams right.
I know. We'll talk about that later because you guys play another get right game.
Oh yeah.
But this is a rematch, man. Rematch of the AFC Championship game. Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes.
Hold on. Give your grades before we do this. Give your grade.
Okay. You want me to go from the Bills?
I'll go first. I'll go with the Bills first. I gave him an A-. It really should be an A. I'm just being a little critical. The offense hasn't been as explosive as last year, although they have come on as of late. But again, who are they playing on? The Texans, and who else did they play that they destroyed?
Dolphins.
The Dolphins, yeah, some other bad team. On the other side with the Chiefs, I give them a C-. I have not liked what I've seen from the Chiefs. They're 2-2. Oh. It's Mahomes isn't really protected, and partly the problem is Mahomes just being loosey-goosey with the ball, as is Clyde Edwards-Helaire, as Tyreek Hill. And the defense is The defense is just terrible. They have nothing good about it. They have two good players, Tyrann Mathieu and Chris Jones, and I think they made a mistake moving Chris Jones to outside. He needs to play inside.
We'll see, man. For grades, I got the Chiefs at a B+.
Really? You've liked them that much?
Look, they're still the Kansas City Chiefs. I know their defense is struggling, but we found out that they're human. They're not perfect. We seen it last year in the Super Bowl, Max. This team is not always going to win every single game, as good as we think we are, or as good as we think they are. But like, it's not a crime to lose some games here and there. Like, they've been through some battles. It's like you said in the beginning of the year. Like, maybe this is the year where they lose a couple of games that they usually win.
I just don't like what I've seen. I know I don't really care about the result. It's just the fact that Mahomes doesn't seem to trust the O line, that they turn over the ball and they can't stop a nosebleed. That's what I
Look,
don't like. They
I
could be
can't
4-0, and I'd give them a B. I wouldn't give them an A.
I can't deny the defense. The defense is a work in progress, but fortunately, they have Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelsey, and company. They got some time to figure it out. They're gonna steer this ship all the way to the playoffs. And it tends to be the case where the Chiefs just figure it out on defense by the end of the year. They gave up a shit ton of yards, but you look and they're like, man, they're playing good going into the playoffs. Seems to happen every single time. That's why I'm giving them a B plus. I don't think it's as bad as people think, and they're 2-2. Bills. This is the only team out of everyone I gave an A plus to. I know they lost to the Steelers week 1, but I think it's apparent that the Steelers are not that good. And it was one of those week 1 games. It was one of those week 1 games where it's a fluke, in my opinion. Shit happens, anything can happen week 1. You look back and you're like, man, what happened right there? Like, they got blown out. Kind of like the Texans. Like, they won week 1. Um, but they're the best team in the NFL, in my opinion. So kind of a spoiler alert for my power rankings, but they're the best team in my opinion. Defense is amazing. I think they're
Much
underrated.
improved. Much
They just
improved.
they just fly right under the radar. They're getting all these shutouts. I don't care, dude. Like, I don't care if it's against the Texans or the Dolphins. These are NFL teams. It's extremely hard to shut out opponents at the end of the day.
No doubt. I think this is the game of the week, in my opinion. If I was going to highlight a game, this is the one I'm most intrigued by. Obviously, Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes must see television. But I think it's going to come down to what defense can get more stops or a stop or maybe a turnover. And I have too much faith in Buffalo. I'm going the Bills in a high scoring one, 42-38.
Wow. That would be a nice game. I got the Bills also, though. I got them 35-29.
I think we've had some good Sunday night games as of late.
Very great.
Other
Very
than week
great.
1, Bears at Rams, but
Yeah. So after this, where do you want to go, Max? I'll let you pick a game.
um let's go. I just talked about the Chicago Bears. Let's just talk about the Chicago Bears at the Las Vegas Raiders. Bears
Let's
are
get it.
2-2. Raiders are 3-1. Before we get into it, let's do the grades. Juan, I'll start with the grades. I gave the Bears a C plus. I was going to give them a B, but after that one game with Justin Fields, I couldn't do it to them because that was just disgusting against Cleveland. And then on the other side, the Raiders, I give them an A. They're 3-1. I didn't think they'd start off 3-1. But again, it's not about the record. It's about the look of the team. Guys are coming out and playing. Max Crosby's taking a leap. Henry Ruggs is taking a leap. Waller just balling like usual. And the defense just seems a lot different than last year. They fly to the ball. They get pressure. Everyone on defense is playing at a different level than last year.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Nah.
I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to even blow smoke up your ass.
I get you. Bears. Start off with them. I got a lower grade than you. I got a D plus for the Chicago Bears. It's not really the result. I think they're very fortunate to be 2-2. I think it should be a lot better though. Like, I think you can argue they can be 3-1 themselves, and I think that comes from coaching. Like, the coaching just destroys the offense. I know they have a bad offensive line, but all of this, quarterback controversy basically with Andy Dalton and who's going to start, and
Is
now
their
they're
O
going to.
line that bad?
I think it's bad. It's
I
pretty
don't
bad.
think it's. I think it's decent, but the way they play with the running quarterback is idiotic. Where they're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, just stand back there all game. Don't worry about. You don't have to move. You're Andy Dalton." That's what's stupid to me, and that, like you said, that goes to the coaching, aka Matt Nagy.
Yeah. And their defense saves the day. Me and Joe were talking about it on the Raiders show. They lead the league in sacks.
Jeez.
Yeah, so they get pressured. They know how to get pressure. The one weakness about their team is probably their secondary. It's Jalen Johnson and then a bunch of other guys. And they've been holding their own. Like, all these no-name dudes, they've been playing decently, but they're kind of thin in that area. I think Eddie Jackson has took a little step back, but Roquan Smith in the front seven, they're still really damn good. So D plus for them. For the Raiders, I got a lower grade. I got an A minus for the Raiders. The only thing the only reason why I gave them an A minus is because of the first half woes. To be a complete team, to be a playoff team, you can't have games like this time and time again. And I love the fact that they come out in the second half and they take control of games and they show why they are a good team. But that can't last forever. And then plus, to be a elite team, you have to be able to run the ball, Max. And that's what scares me. I don't know if it's Josh Jacobs not being healthy. I don't know if it's the offensive line who is very young. And I don't know if you heard this, but the news just came out. Alex Leatherwood is officially moving to right guard, and they're putting in Brandon Parker at tackle. So they're making the
Jeez.
switch. Yeah.
So my question to you would be: Is that have to do with the injury to Denzel Good, or is that a combination of Denzel Good being out and Alex Leatherwood not being a great right tackle?
I think I don't think it has nothing to do with the Denzel Good. I think it's just Alex Leatherwood struggling. He struggles
I
early
think
in
he has the
games.
talent to play a guard in the
Oh
NFL.
yeah, I
He
have
kind of
faith.
seems more like a guard coming out, where he's just a big mauler.
Yeah,
He's just not quick. So
yeah.
maybe that power will help him.
Hmm.
But also, it seems like John Gruden is just reluctant to run the ball, and like you said, maybe that's just not a trust in the O line and Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Josh Jacobs has been banged up.
Mm-hmm.
This team has been very banged up, but
So what's going
fortunately
on with the
enough.
corners? Tell me what's going on with the corners, because you lost Trayvon Mullen, Nate Hobbs, and Damon Arnett last game.
Nate Hobbs looks good to play. I think he's gonna play. He was a full go in practice. Trayvon Mullen's not looking good. Something with his toe or his foot. I don't know what it is. That's gonna hurt us though. Damon Arnett, he's trash. I hope he doesn't play. I lost complete faith in him. I can't stand Damon Arnett. Amik Robinson held his own, I guess.
It
I look
didn't make
back,
sense because I didn't feel like he was holding his own, but they were like, "Oh, let's not test it." Like they
right?
gave him they gave him the Revis treatment, where it's like, "Oh, it's not even Namdi treatment." They were like, "Hey, let's don't even
Yeah.
test him."
I was shocked. Look, you got a 6'4", 6'5" receiver in Mike Williams who's been absolutely killing it this year against a fourth string corner, and to top it all off, cherry on top, he's like 5'8", if that. Like Amik Robinson's a munchkin.
A
He
little
was
a little munchkin.
so
Uh,
let's get down to picking this game after all the
really
stuff we
quickly,
said.
David Montgomery will be out for several weeks, and Justin
Yeah.
Fields was named the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Just for those wondering,
Hmm. Who you got?
I got your Raiders, bro. Look, I didn't say this, but if they get blown out of this fucking game, this is my first big curse of the podcast. The other one didn't count. If you can say one curse or the podcast turns rated R. It's like PG-13 movies. If they get blown out of this game, they're fake. This is the script the Raiders have followed the last 2 years. Disagree with me if I'm wrong, but if they get blown out of this game, that's some really Raider stuff to do. But I have faith they're not going to get blown out. I'm just going to say that 28-17.
Yeah. Um, I agree with you. It's gonna suck if we lose this game. I don't think we are. I'm picking the Raiders, 26-16. I just have faith in our defense to really handle the offense. I don't trust Matt Nagy right now. I love Justin Fields. Don't get me wrong, but they just don't really have great game plans going into the game. I don't like the way they use Justin Fields at times. It was a lot better last week, but I don't like to toot the Raiders' horn on defense all that much for the last couple of years, but they're a lot better than the Detroit Lions on defense. And I have faith
Absolutely.
that, yeah, so I have faith that that's gonna be the key point. Like, I feel like if this is a game to get turnovers for the Raiders D, it's this game. You got to create some turnovers. I trust in the offense. Um, you got to win this game. It's at home, so got to go from there, man. Hopefully the Raiders get the dub though. Next game, Max.
You want to go to
Who
my
you want to
team
go?
since we did your team?
Sure, let's do it.
Eagles grade D. We suck. We have one win. The injuries have already started to pile up. Jalen Hurts has had 2 good games and 2 awful games. I don't really know what to make of my team. One, I don't know what we're about. I don't know this team's identity. I thought it was going to be just winning the trenches, but Jordan Maitala's out, Lane Johnson's out, Isaac Sumalu, Brandon Brooks is all out. Out of our 5 offensive linemen are out.
And you said you gave him a D?
You gave him a D, man.
Damn. I
And
gave
then
him the
the
same
Panthers,
thing, bro.
A plus. I mean, not A plus, A. Excuse me, A. Just love what they've been about. They made a trade today. They have the Gilly Lock, Stephon Gilmore, for a 6th-round pick. I feel like if you were a Mike Mayock, you would have been like, "We'll give you a 5th," and
Yeah.
you would have got the deal done.
I think it's more of where he wanted to go, though. I think the Patriots had respects on, his decision, and I feel
And
like a lot of teams were just crossed out.
he said, and the initial reports were that he was cut, and then I guess the Panthers got on the phone and said, "Oh, before you cut him, we'll give you a 6th-round pick."
Yeah, so that's what it was. I bet teams were just like, you know what, we'll sign him. We'll go from there. As my freaking camera stops working, but yeah, dude, it's gonna be tough for the Panthers to not be good in the next couple of years. Like J.C. Horn coming back, Gilly Locke, and Dante Jackson.
Bro, they love corners with dreads, bro. They want the dread cornerbacks.
And it's funny that you had these grades. I have the same grades for the Eagles and the Panthers. I got a D for the Eagles and I got an A for the Panthers. And for the Eagles, it's a rebuild mode, Max. I
Yeah.
think it's obvious. It's so weird because you guys are young in some spots,
And
and
then
you guys,
ancient.
yeah, and then old, and the spots that you're old, it's the O line and the D line, really. Like the O line, I think you guys are elite. O
When
line when you
healthy.
guys, yeah, when healthy,
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely elite. But that's not the case, man. You're talking about your left tackle being out, and as I get my camera back up, sorry about
Hey,
that.
you look beautiful, bro. Great job.
um, yeah, dude, it's just a rebuild mode. You guys are in a weird spot because Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's the franchise quarterback. I think he's an NFL quarterback. I just don't think he's a guy to build your
He's
franchise around.
he seems like an awesome backup quarterback. Just like cream of the crop.
Tyrod
Backup.
Taylor,
Oh my God, Tyrod incarnate. Yeah, 100%.
yeah, 100%, man. I agree. And then Panthers and A, their year ahead schedule. Uh, I think they found their QB, Max, and I think it was an absolute steal. I know Darnold had a bad game in the second half, but he was just trying to make plays. Their defense was getting depleted on the run game. He was just trying to make something happen. I don't think he turned back into like Sam Darnold of the Jets.
No, they still were almost gonna like be back in the game. They wouldn't get blown
Yeah.
out. And like you
And
said, Christian McCaffrey's banged up, Shaq Thompson's banged up, JC Horn, we already know he's out for the year.
yeah.
And CJ Henderson, it was his first game and he got burnt toast by Amari Cooper.
Yeah, they got the best cornerback in the league. Like they still got AJ Bouye. Like I know AJ Bouye hasn't been shit for like 2 years, but I would love to have him as my 5th or 4th string corner.
I know, right?
So who do you got in this game?
Panthers 28, Eagles 17. I just don't
Wow.
think we can hang around the defense. They have too much talent for us, man. And especially
Yeah.
if we're banged up. Brian Burns, Derek Brown have a big game. Hassan Riddick have a big game.
Yeah. I got Panthers also 29-14, similar score. Yeah, the Eagles are just rebuilding. Panthers are really good. I'm not gonna flinch at all with that Cowboy loss. I think it just so happens that the Cowboys are pretty good this year. And a lot of people are gonna eat crow for that, including me. We'll see if they stay healthy and they keep on going, but the Panthers are good. Don't get confused with last week. Don't just judge them off that. They're a really good team.
100% agree with you, bro. Where do you want to go?
Let's go Saints at Washington,
Oh, okay.
because I think this is one of the most interesting grades that I gave out.
For which team or
Saints
for both teams?
for both teams.
I would agree.
Saints 2-2, Washington football team 2-2. Let's start with the Saints grade. I gave them a B. It was tough though. I didn't know if I wanted to give them a B or D. I don't know. I just know that they're 2-2, and they've had two good wins, and they've had two bad losses. You don't know what to think though. One game the offense looks good, one game the defense looks amazing, and then the next game like shit just hits the fan. I don't know. It's the hardest team to evaluate right now because I don't know what they are.
I went with a B minus, bro. Same type of thinking. I'm like, what is this team? Like, I've seen Jameis be good. I've seen him kind of be bad. And on the flip side, I'll give my Washington grade. I went with a D.
Wow.
The defensive line's been bad. Let me rephrase. The defense has been bad, but I don't think it has anything to do with the players. The players are still there, but the scheme itself is not good right now. Shout out your boy Jack Del Rio, who you can't stand, just being the most mediocre person he can be. And on the offensive side, Heineke's been a little fun. The offense kind of has spurts. I get Ryan Fitzpatrick got hurt, so it kind of threw a monkey like a wrench in their plans.
Yeah.
So I don't really know about Washington, man. I kind of feel like this if they can win this game, it can kind of set their season on course. Because we all
Yeah.
thought Washington by a mile in the
Look,
preseason stuff.
yeah, me and you were big on football team, and that brings me to my first F. I'm
Giving
giving
them
them
an
an F.
F?
I'm giving them an F.
Wow.
I know it's crazy to think they have two wins.
I don't think it's crazy because I gave him a D. I'm like, well, I'm
Look,
not that far
yeah,
off from an
I
F.
don't think besides Henneke and Terry McLaurin last week saving their ass in that game.
And yeah, you got to shout out JD McKissick.
Yeah.
He,
They're Dexter Lawrence from being 1-3
one and
though,
three.
Max. Uh, this team
Yeah,
was
well,
it's a huge disappointment. This defense, this D line has not been dominant at all. And we've had high hopes for it. I hope it is the scheme. But sometimes like you got to dominate. Like what scheme do you really need for a defensive line to get pressure?
well, no, I think that's the problem. You know, it's like, oh, we know these four guys are just rushing every play, so we can kind of devise ways to slow them down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's the problem. It's like, hey, they never have anything else to like. They're never blitzing. They're never helping them get
They're
like a
so
little pressure.
vanilla.
Yeah, too vanilla. Exactly, man. Exactly. And on the Saints side, I feel like they're too aggressive. They're like playing Daniel Jones like he's like Kurt Warner on the greatest show on turf. So I'm not really sure what to make of both teams. I think it'll reveal a lot about these teams. I'm gonna go into the pick'em. There's only big injury in this game is Brandon Scherf's ankle. He'll be on IR. He's been moved to the short-term IR. I'm gonna go with the Washington football team, 21-14 against the Saints.
Wow.
I think this is the week Chase Young and company. And Chase Young got hold on a sack where he got Matt Ryan. So I got Chase Young on this one. If they can turn over Jameis, they'll win this game. I got him 21-14.
Yeah. Shout out to Steezy A. Smith tuning into the show, man. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you tuning in. I got the Saints also, Max. I got Saints 31, Washington football team 20.
Well, I have the football team, so you don't have who I got.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
But you don't listen when I talk. All
I was too involved with. I blame that on Steezy, bro.
right, blame him. That's fine.
I seen Steezy's comment.
Yes, sir.
But look, since Steezy's in here, I'm gonna. Oh no, we already talked about the Seahawks. Sorry, Steezy.
Yeah, he did.
I know. Yeah, I know he's a Seahawks fan. We talked about them first playing on Thursday night. Let's go to Miami at Tampa Bay. Miami, who is 1-3. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 3-1. Grades as always. I'm gonna start this off with my second consecutive F for the Miami Dolphins. They're not good. This team has a quarterback issue, Max. I think Jacoby Brissett's a bona fide great backup, and he's one of the best backups in the league. But I'd
Anytime he has a good game, he has to follow it up with an equally as bad game, and you're like, why did I
exactly.
just give you praise, bro?
Right, right. And I think he is what he is by now. He's had multiple games to show who he is at this point. There's no like question marks. He's a quarterback who's hot and cold. He's not going to win a bunch of games. He's going to make plays here and there. He's a backup. He's a great backup to have. He's going to be in the league for, years to come. But he's not a starter. And you know who else is not a starter? It's not good. Tagovailoa, whatever how you say his freaking name.
Tunga
Tua
Vailoa.
Tagovailoa. There we go.
I've heard one say it many a times off camera, and he was great.
But yeah, Tua, even though he's hurt, I seen enough from Tua. I'm throwing in the white towel for Tua. A big thing about Herbert playing great is just a reminder for Dolphin fans on they could have had Herbert.
Shout out tanking for Tua, my
Like,
guy.
It was a
100% right, Juan. I don't think you can. People want to say, "Oh, his hip's still messed up." No, it's not. He is who he is. He's not a strong arm quarterback who plays a dangerous brand of football. Who's careless.
all
And
the
that's what it
question
is.
marks we've had in college from Tua are still problems in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely. What very well said. I went with an F2, and I don't need to repeat what you just said. They're
What
just a
about bigger
team that's
F?
bad. A bigger F, bigger F.
Oh man.
And then for the Bucks, hey, they're 3-1. They had the emotional game in New England. They've been good. I'm not worried about the defense, man. They're like a regular season team. It's kind of hard to lock in. I'm not worried
Injuries.
about it. Yeah,
The- I-
and the defensive back, they have to play with the carcass of Richard Sherman getting toasted by whoever.
Exactly. I give them an A also, Max. So we're on the same page. I'm not worried about their defense. I feel like they're gonna figure it out.
Absolutely.
The offense is gonna carry them for now, but they're fine. They're 3-1. They're right on track. All right. Let's pick this game, Max. I got the Bucks 31, Dolphins 10. Got an ass whooping.
I got the Bucks winning 30-13. So yeah, I agree with you. Brian Flores might have some like tricky stuff for Tom Brady, but like, what can you really surprise Tom Brady with in this point of his career? Nothing.
Right.
I just have a quick question. Who's the best running back in Tampa right now?
Lenny.
I would go with Lenny too.
Lenny.
The fact they have him, and maybe this is a good segue to the next team we should talk about in the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are just, I mean, you can just go put bigger F on the thing. I'm sure you'll agree, biggest F. We can say, yeah, they've just been a wreck since they started cutting everyone who was on their team that was good. Dude, what do you want to start with the Jaguars? And they are playing the let me look. I'm sorry, I can't think.
Titans.
They are playing the Titans. Where do you want to start with the Jaguars, right? Because we both have them as an F, but
Yeah, I got them as an F too. I mean, it's mostly coaching. I think they have talent on the offensive side. Their offensive line struggles, but are we being a little bit too harsh on Urban? Or you don't think so? Well deserved.
Should we address the elephant on the lap? I mean, in the room. Uh,
yeah, I mean, we brought it up last week. We didn't
tough
think much
look
of
for
it.
my guy, no doubt.
Look, I don't have a problem with what he did. Everyone has different morals. Everyone has a different type of relationship. Obviously, I think from the outside looking in, like a typical wife wouldn't like to see that. But
I'm not even thinking about it from the wife perspective. I don't know if you read the reports of him apologizing to all the position groups.
That's
separately.
where I have. That's where.
And
I have
then
a problem.
they're like, oh yeah, it's cool. And then they laugh at him. It's like, oh my god, that is like nightmare.
Yeah,
Nightmare. Like
it's a
dumpster
joke.
fire. Yeah. And I think the writing's on the wall. If they get blown out of this game, it kind of just says the team's gone. And once you lose that team, I don't think you get them back.
Right. I think it was too little to bring up. You know, I thought it was.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was because he lied to them. Juan, he said, "Hey, I'm staying here with my fam," and then you're getting like lap dances in the club from a random chick that walks up to you while you're pounding bourbon.
I mean, is that a crime though? Like,
no, it's not. It's not a crime to do that. So, but like, if you tell your team, "Hey, I'm not I'm going to spend time with my family, and then you lie about that. That's the
I mean,
crime. It's
he
not.
was out with like family though. He was in Ohio. He was back in his home. Where he coached in Ohio
How
State.
would everyone feel if Odell Beckham did some crap like this?
Yeah,
They
most
want his head
definitely.
on his spike.
I think where the team has the problem, they probably laugh, is that he's talking about being responsible. Don't put yourself in those type of
Exactly.
situations.
That's the crime.
Yeah,
He's a
that's the crime.
hypocrite.
Yeah, exactly. Like even him telling Trevor Lawrence for his bachelor party, going out to Vegas and saying like, "Hey, be careful." Do this, do that, and then you go out and do some shit like
Yeah,
this. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
It's crazy. They showed signs of life last week. They started off the game pretty good, but yeah, it's an F, bro. They're 0-4.
It just the writing's on the wall, Juan, for it to
Yeah,
turn ugly. That's what's scary about
exactly.
this
I
whole
don't know what's gonna
situation.
turn this game around. Titans, on the other hand, they're not good themselves. At least their head coach is not doing that though.
No.
um,
What's your grade for the Titans?
D+.
I gave him a C minus.
Wow.
It's like, okay, obviously you lost to the Jets, and I know AJ Brown and Julio Jones are hurt, but the defense has no improvement. Other than Derrick Henry, the offense is really bad. We've already heard people, aka Peyton, talk about how much he loves Todd Downing,
Yeah.
and I'm being sarcastic. Everyone hates Todd Downing, so
Uh,
it's just kind of. I feel like
It's
it should
been
be better.
underwhelming. It's been underwhelming. It's basically smoke or nothing. Smoke Henry, that is.
That's a good one. Smoke or nothing.
Yeah, smoke or nothing. Was this supposed to be the Cardinals?
I feel like it was supposed to be the Cardinals. Yeah.
Right? I feel like everyone that was on the Cardinals this year, everyone was saying pump the brakes. They got old players. Kyler's not that proven. Nobody likes their head coach. I think the Titans are kind of like what we expected from the Cardinals. Todd Downing is a problem. Super underwhelming. They have Julio, they have AJ Brown. You thought that this was going to be a Super Bowl contending team. With that said, it is only 4 games in. They got time to turn it around. They're 2-2. Fortunately, it's not
Season's
like,
not over.
yeah,
Season's not
season's not
over.
over at all.
No.
But they got problems. They got problems from if the season ends today, they're not looking good. And Julio Jones is having the same problems. He's injured. What a surprise!
And he's helped AJ Brown get hurt too. It's not his fault. They're both questionable for the game, and DJ Chark is on the IR. I'm pretty sure we're gonna pick the same team. I'm going Titans 35-21.
Yeah, I got Titans also 28-16. Now let's go to there's a game that I was seeing that I really want to talk about. Here we go. Cincinnati and Green Bay. Look, this is a sneaky game. No one's talking about it because no one really
Because the
realizes that
Bengals.
the Bengals are 3-1. So are the Packers. These are both 3-1 teams. Packers are traveling to Cincinnati. Let's start off with the grades. Like as always, Packers. I gave them an A. Look, they had a bad game week 1. It looked terrible, but everyone knows this team is playing for the long haul. I think they're going to be fine in the regular season. They're probably going to win their division. I want to see this team week 18. How do they look? Are they getting shit together? Does that second receiver emerge from this group? Like, Aaron Rodgers is going to do some things. The defense is going to be, capable of
Well,
playing well at times.
what do you think of the defense? Because they just signed somebody today, a surprise cut, Jalen Smith. And I know
Wow.
it's not Jalen Smith from 3 years ago. I didn't think he was playing bad enough to be cut,
Yeah.
but I read an interesting story about they're cutting him now just in case he gets injured and they're on the hook for a bunch of money because he has a big injury stuff in his contract.
Right.
I think he'll help this defense, man. If they can get him healthy, and he's coming to a 3-4 defense instead of a 4-3, so maybe that just helps him out. He's their best linebacker, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. I had an A. What did you give the Packers?
I aim B+, and I give the Bengals an A-. Real quick, I'll hit on both. Packers, yeah, week 1 was ugly, and you've had some bad moments, but they're injured. They're getting healthy. David Bakhtiari should be back soon. And for the Bengals, they're 3-1. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase has looked everything we thought it would look. The defense is improved, and as they can get the run game, and if they can keep protecting Burrow, they can maybe make the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping them.
I got the same thing for the Bengals. I got an A minus. Great way to start. Young coach, young quarterback, young receiving core, and they're showing early signs that they're ahead of schedule. Honestly, um, the defense is a lot better than people think. This is one of the most underrated defenses in the National Football League. And they might have a moment when they fall. I think the fall is coming, but that's just from the nature of them being in a tough division. They got Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
they got Baltimore. They're both great teams. Who knows what's going to happen with the Steelers? We'll probably get into them next. But the Bengals are looking good, man, for the start that they have. A minus, 3-1. That's a win to me, man, because everyone was thinking Joe Burrow knee. Jamar Chase can't catch the ball. He's a bust already, even though he hasn't played a game. I like what the Bengals are doing, man. I'm happy for Zach Taylor because I think a lot of people were kind of on the hot seat with Zach Taylor.
Yeah, 100%. Everything you said was correct. And I'd
Yeah.
like to add, if you want to go into the pick'em aspect of this game, Jair Alexander might not play. He has a shoulder issue. Elton Jenkins might be out again. Preston Smith questionable. And on the Bengals, T. Higgins questionable. So is Joe Mixon. He has an ankle injury. He's week to week. I want to see Jair versus Jamar, man. I can't wait. And I like how Eric Stokes was playing, and he'd be a good matchup for T. Higgins.
How would you like the Packers picking up Stephon Gilmore? Because I heard a couple of reports that Gilmore
Why
wanted to go
wouldn't
to.
you? Why
I
wouldn't you have
know.
done it? Why?
I
Why?
know.
If you're all in for this year with Aaron Rodgers, why wouldn't
Right.
you?
I would
Uh,
I would have gave up a 5th-round pick.
I would have
If
gave
that
up
was to
a
beat it.
4th-round pick in Kevin King's.
Yeah.
Like what's stopping them?
I don't think
And
anyone
dude,
wants Kevin King,
if
but yeah.
I'm Green Bay, and I know there's no problem with Odell in Cleveland, I offer them a first for Odell. What do you have to play for, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why are you gonna just not go
That's the
all in?
notion. Yeah, that's the notion. That's Rodgers last year. I got the Packers winning 26-17.
I got the Packers winning 28-27.
Okay. Nice. So the Packers to us are gonna be 4-1. I mean, they're right on track, man. They're
I
gonna
know
be
it's
tough.
gonna say they're 3-2, the Bengals, but they're doing good. Like a
Yeah,
lot of their team looks good.
they're fine. They're fine. I think they're a year behind though.
Agree.
Like
I think the Burrow injury might have just made stuff more complicated.
right. Okay, like I said, I wanted to talk Steelers. Let's talk
Oof.
Steelers and Broncos. All right, Broncos 3-1 coming off of their first loss. Pittsburgh looking atrocious, bro.
Coming off 3 straight losses.
Yeah, 3 straight losses in a row. I don't know the stat, but I guarantee that Mike Tomlin has never lost 4 straight games. I can't remember the last time the Steelers lost 4 straight games. But let's go into the grades. Broncos, look, I think they're pretenders. I think they're fake as shit. But if we're grading them off these 4 games, it's an A. Would have been an A plus if they would have beat the Ravens, but they didn't. They got the job done. They beat who was in front of them. They were bad teams, but that's who they had to play. They didn't pick their schedule. They did their job. But obviously they're flawed. It showed last week. The offense is not good. We don't know if Teddy's going to be healthy. Drew Lock's probably going to start this game. Who knows?
Wow.
But
Great sign for the Bronco fans out there.
but and their D is a touch overrated. They're good, but everyone calling them the no-fly zone part 2. You got to pump your brakes.
What was your grade for the Broncos?
An A. I gave them an A.
I gave them a B plus because I think they're pretenders and they've had the luck of, hey, I'm feasting on the poor, and you couldn't get much poorer than what they were, than who they were playing. 0-9. That's all I'll say. For the Steelers, F. There's nothing good about this team other than the defense. And maybe I would even take that to the D line. Cameron Hayward in the front seven's good. Minka's good too, but I don't like the corners. And Big Ben is washed. Get him out of there, coach. He's done. Stick a fork in him, man.
Look, I surprisingly got a D minus, and the only
Is this
reason
because
why
they beat Buffalo?
no, not at all. It's not because
Okay.
they beat Buffalo. Like I said, I think the Buffalo game was just a fluke. It was a week 1 fluke. Their defense is still elite when
It
healthy.
is.
That's the only reason why I'm giving them a D minus. It's really just Big Ben. I think it's Big Ben and the offensive line. Their skill players are talented as hell, man. They got 3 legit receivers. I think they got a legit
I
running
feel like they
back.
have 2.5. Half is Juju.
I mean, Juju's still good, even though you want to give him shit for the TikTok. He's still a good receiver.
Yeah.
But it's the quarterback. It's bad quarterback play. Big Ben, he's looking washed. Um, it's hard to look at, man. But I think the defense and Mike Tomlin, as far as the pick'em goes, that's why I'm going with the Steelers, man. I got the Steelers 24-21.
I got the Broncos, man, 24-13. I have zero faith in the Steelers. And
Wow.
you're kind of scaring me because Mike Tomlin, this is the type of game he loves to upset and be like, hey, we're still here, galvanize the team. And this is the type of win that'll save their season, I feel like.
Yeah. Like I think after this week they're going to make some changes. I think they're going to shore up the plate that they're giving to Big Ben. They're going to be like, let's just shrink the playbook a little bit. Go back to the basics. Let's run some simple shit. Let our defense play. Let our defense feast. TJ Watt came back last week. I don't think he was 100%. He's so good, he still got 2 sacks. Like,
I know. He almost kept them in the game.
yeah. So I'm rolling with the Steelers, man. I like Mike Tomlin personally. Big fan of him. 4 straight, and then you're at home. I don't see it. I got the Steelers, man. Let's go on to
You want to go
what are we?
Detroit and Minnesota?
Yeah, let's
We'll
go
start with
there.
the grades. I'll go with the Lions. I gave them a D plus, and I know they're 0-4. How can I give them a D plus? Because me and you both thought this team was going to be one of the actually. Let me rephrase. I thought this is going to be one of the worst teams in football, and I know they're 0-4, but they play hard. They've been in positions to win games. Justin Tucker snatched their soul, just as my soul was low key snatched this week.
You said a D plus, Max?
D plus, yeah.
Gotcha.
And on the other side, the Vikings, I gave them a C because I know they're 1-3, but the defense is bad, and I know Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen's good.
This is probably one of my most interesting grades for the Vikings. They're a 1-3 team, but I'm giving them a B plus. I think people are sleeping on the Vikings. They are not bad. They're not a bad team by no means. Tough losses. All of them came down to the last play. Every single one of them. Overtime against Cincinnati. They had the Cardinal game that came down to
Overtime.
the last play. Yeah, overtime. And then last week, they had to throw the ball in the end zone. I thought Adam Thielen got held and they didn't call it. But it was a tough game, man. Look, I don't think the defense is as bad as you think. They give up a bunch of yards. I don't care about yards. Everyone gives up yards. They're 11th in points. 11th in points allowed. They're 4th in sacks. Daniil Hunter has 5 sacks, Max. Like him and Everson Griffin, they got the band back together and they're balling. Like I like what I seen from the Vikings, man. You know their offense is legit. With Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook. The names go on and on. Their backup running back is pretty good. Like,
Alexander Madison, yeah, he's little Dalvin.
look, they're one of those teams. It's unfortunate to be 1-3, but don't take that sight for weakness, man, because they're really good. I'm impressed with the Vikings. I like what I've seen. It's tough that they're 1-3 though. The Lions, on the other hand, I got a D. Hasn't been as bad as their record shows, but Goff is bad at the worst times, and the talent just ain't there. Um, their coach coaches his ass off on the sidelines, but they're not a good team. You know, they give you a fight for the first half, but seems like just go downhill by the second half. I got a D for them. Going on the pick'em side, what are you thinking about this game, Max?
Well, Anthony Barr should be making a season debut for the Vikings, and Trey Flowers is questionable. Frank Ragnow was going to be out with turf toe, and Romeo Okwara tore his Achilles, so he's out. Look, I like the Viking. I like the Lions. I like the Vikings. I think the Vikings will kind of keep this game a little closer than it should be, but they're going to pull away, and I'm going Vikings 34-20.
Wow. I
They
got
can't slow down
Vikings.
everybody. They don't have enough talent, Detroit.
Yeah. I got the Vikings 27-17. Let's go to the Cowboys. All right. I really want to talk Cowboys because uh they're good. They're really good. They're playing the Giants, who are 1-3. Dallas Cowboys are 3-1. Let's start off with the grades. Cowboys, I got an A. Just a solid
100.
A.
I'm with you. A right with you.
Yeah. Everything looks great. They're in the driver's seat to win the division. My main concern for them is stay on track. Don't get distracted by these easy opponents. Stay hungry all season. Keep your foot on that gas pedal. That's all I ask for. I think they obviously got a recipe to win. They figured it out. It's run the ball with Zeke and Tony Pollard and make Dak just have a couple throws here and there. You don't have to throw the ball 58 times. Run the hell out of the ball. Run behind Zach Martin and Tyron Smith. Hope and pray that they stay healthy, and they're going to be good.
And they'll get Leo Collins back in a couple of games too, and he's a good right tackle.
Yeah.
I give them an A. All the reasons you said. Defense looks good. Micah Parsons is a game changer.
Yeah.
On the other side, Giants gave them a D. They're 1-3. Great win last week, but overall the offense has been putrid. The defense hasn't been as good as I expected. I like Joe Judge, but let's hope last week was kind of a stepping stool for their whole season.
Look, I give them a D minus. Out of all the problems they have, the Daniel Jones fumbles and turnovers and Saquon not being healthy, whatever, I think their main problem, Max, is Joe Judge. I don't like the
Really?
coaching. You know what? I liked them in the beginning of the season. I don't like what I see. I just don't think that the players respond to him. I think he's a little bit too old school mentality. And you kind of got to know your team. You got to have a good gauge of who your team is. They got a lot of young guys on that squad, don't have a lot of veteran leadership. So they probably just don't respond well to Joe Judge. I've heard multiple reports of that. Plus, like I said, Daniel Jones is a turnover machine. I don't think he's the quarterback of the future. Um, they're bad. Like D minus.
Okay. No, I hear you. I'm on a D, so I'm not like in love with what I've seen from them.
Yeah.
To
But
the pick'em side, what are you thinking?
I got Cowboys 35-20.
I have a very similar score. I went 32-18. I think the Cowboys, as long as they don't choke or play with their food, they're going to blow this team out.
Right. Let's move on. Look, whoever's watching, we appreciate you guys, man. It's a long one. It was gonna be long regardless. We're doing grades, we're doing the pick'ems, and at the end, if you guys stay long enough, we're gonna be doing our power rankings. All right, so make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment down below whatever you guys think your guys' grades are. But let's continue, Max. San Francisco 49ers 2-2, traveling to the Arizona Cardinals, who are 4-0. These are going to be interesting grades. I want to hear yours first. Let's just give the 49ers side because I want to stick on the 49ers a little bit more than the Cardinals. What's your Niner grade?
All things considered, I went B minus. Jimmy G's been bad. They're one Aaron Rodgers away from being 3-1. The defense looks good. The injury bugs caught up with them, which is unfortunate. I don't love what I've seen from Trey Lance, but we're going to see this week, and I hope he starts. Granted, it's going to be a bad first start to like a bad team to go against the Cardinals with their really good defense. I've liked what I've seen in Spurs, but there's been times I don't like what I see. Like the problem is a quarterback. We know that. Why do you think they picked quarterback at 3-1? You know why. Jimmy G ain't the guy. All things considered, B minus. Yeah.
Wow. Kind of shocked. You're gonna be surprised with me then. I
What you
got a
think?
D. I got a D plus.
Wow.
I'm going with the expectations of the team, and this is not the expectations that I had for them. As you know, I picked them to win their
Mm-hmm.
division and be dominant. I don't see it. They have an obvious QB issue, like you said. Jimmy G sucks. The offense, is kind of putrid. And I know Kyle Shanahan is known for the zone scheme and run game, and I know they've had a lot of injuries, but they flat out just can't run the ball. All right. And don't you think something is wrong where it seems like every year you got the injury bug?
I think that has to do with like
Like
training or just. I
I
mean,
think
it
at
is
this point it's
football.
not really bad luck though.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, maybe they just have a lot. They've just keep getting injury prone guys like Raheem Mostert. Like, do you trust them next year? 2 straight years of knee injuries?
Exactly. And I
No.
think that comes back to the coaching staff not really accounting for that and really looking at it as bad luck. I don't think you got to look at it that way. This last year was not the first year that they've been injured like this. 49ers are just known to be an injury riddled team with the Kyle Shanahan era. And who knows if it's training, who knows if it's personnel decisions of getting these players or how they practice. I don't know. But if I was the regime, I would have a lot more depth. And they just don't have depth, in my opinion,
Well, it's hard to
all
have
over the
depth when you
place.
just trade a mountain of like draft picks for Trey Lance.
Yeah,
It's hard.
exactly. I mean, but those are future picks. They've
Yeah.
still they still have their picks.
No, I get that, but they just not done a great job building like a complete roster. Like, I hate to
Yeah,
be the guy who brings up the Eagles, but we lost Carson Wentz, we lost Jason Peters, we lost Jordan Hicks, and we had guys to fill in, and we're good.
yeah,
That's what
exactly.
great teams do.
And that's what Super Bowl teams do. And
Exactly. And
this is not a Super Bowl team to me. Uh, the only chance that they got, maybe things change with Lance. Maybe he brings another dynamic that boosts up the run game, and they go from there. But as far as right now, 4 games in, D plus. I mean, count your blessings. You're 2-2. You beat 2 bad teams. That's just the facts of it.
shout out to the Eagles. On the Cardinals side, I think it's an easy A plus.
Yeah,
It's like they're
same
4-0. They look great. They beat the crap out of teams. They beat the Rams, who was a test, like we said last week, test week. But I will say, if the Cardinals, maybe it's one of those situations where they come off an emotional high and they get beat by the Niners. I don't think that'll happen as I transition to the pick'ems. I think Cardinals know this is going to be a close division from a bunch of teams. It could be all 3 teams are going to be close. Take care of business while they're wounded.
Yeah,
Beat the Niners, Cliff Kingsbury. Show you can beat the better teams in your division.
yeah. And like I said, I gave him an A plus too. So I'm gonna go on to the pickums myself. I got Cardinals 27, 49ers 17.
What'd you say?
Cardinals 27, 49ers 17.
I got the Cardinals winning 30-17. I just think the Cardinals got too much right now.
So we both think Trey Lance is probably going to put up 17. That's funny.
I think he's going to struggle, and I think Kyle Shanahan's going to make him look a little better than he is.
Yeah.
I think we only have a couple games left as I scroll through them. We have the Patriots and Texans. We got the Jets in Atlanta. We got the Monday night game, Colts and Baltimore. And I think that's it. So
Yeah.
I'll let you pick where we go from there.
Let's go. Let's get Jets and Falcons over with. The Jets, surprisingly, I got them as a C. With all things considered, the future looks bright. I love what I seen last week. They're dealing with injuries. It's all about expectations. It's all about what were the expectations of the Jets? We knew they were going to be bad.
Awful.
Yeah. They got a win last week against a Tennessee Titans team who can run the ball. They're not terrible. I know they got problems on defense. I know they didn't have AJ Brown and Julio Jones. You still got the win, okay? They're fortunate enough to have that. This year, just have some fun, man. Develop your players. Play Zach Wilson. They're doing it the right way.
Don't ruin Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
That's
rookie head coach, rookie quarterback. All things considered, I gave him a C. There's no reason to give him an F.
I give him a C too, bro. And all the reasons you said, I'll move to the Falcons. They got a D. I thought Arthur Brown and this offense was going to be better than what it was. And I know there's not a lot of talent. The defense can't stop a nosebleed. Matt Ryan looks kind of a shell of himself. No run game. Best part of their team this year has been Cordell Patterson. No joke.
Yeah, I got him as an
Where's
F.
Kyle Pitts? I haven't seen Kyle Pitts.
My first note, no Pitts action. Nothing. No, where is he? I know tight ends are not historically good in the rookie season. I've only seen one flash from the dude, and I'm not ready to throw in the towel on him. Yeah, I'm not gonna write him off at
Hasn't
all.
got a touchdown. Hasn't caught a touchdown. Let me give you this game log: 4 for 50, 2 for 35, 5 for 73, 4 for 30.
Yeah, unimpressive. Matt Ryan, I think it's time to move on from Matty Ice.
Yeah,
Sadly, but D sucks. Their whole line sucks. They're bad. Okay, I think they need to go into rebuild mode. They need to wipe out everything. I think they kind of half-ass did it this year because they thought they'll be competitive. I think it's
yeah. They're
time
like
to
they're in the middle ground of what they should be. They're like,
exactly.
oh, we can still kind of be good.
Right. They need to move on. They should have drafted Justin Fields, but that's beyond my, you know, my opinion. But I got the Falcons surprisingly 24-14 just because they have a little bit more offensive firepower with Cordell
Mm.
Patterson compared
C
to the
flash
Jets.
P.
Yeah,
I got the Raiders. I'm sorry, Raiders is here. I mean, I got the Jets winning this one 23-17. I like the Jets defense. The offense showed signs of life. Titans defense is bad. So is Atlanta. I'm just predicting some Zach Wilson magic here.
yeah. No, I mean the Jets, they're up there in sacks, so they can rush the quarterback even without a guy like Carl Lawson. Bad O line with the Falcons, can easily see it. Let's move on to Monday Night Football. Indianapolis Colts 1-3 going in Baltimore, who are 3-1. Let's start off with the Colts, Max. What's your grade for the Colts?
I'm gonna give them a C. And I know that sounds counterintuitive because they're 1-3, but they got a really big win last week against the Dolphins. It's been the case of the injury bug. Quentin Nelson, Carson Wentz, Quiddy Pay, Braden Smith, Eric Fisher wasn't there to start the year. T.Y. Hilton. Like they're still afloat. So I'm giving them props for being afloat. I like Frank Wright. I don't think this is a bad football team. I think it's an injured football team. That's why I gave him a C.
Okay. I got him as a D, though.
I
Um,
understand.
yeah, I got him as a D. I think their defense is kind of underwhelming and not as good as people think. They're great against the run, but I think their cornerbacks on the outside, their secondary kind of struggles.
No man
And
to man cornerbacks.
yeah, and another thing is they really don't have no playmakers on the outside that scares you. You know, Michael Pittman is solid. I know T.Y. Hilton's been hurt, but I mean, let's be real. He's old. Like, what is he really going to do? I don't think he would have done much if he did play. And then all the injuries on top. That's the only reason why I didn't give him an F. It would have been worse if they were doing this with all their players, but I gave him a D. On the Ravens side, I gave him an A. The only reason why I didn't give him an A plus is because they lost to the Raiders. But
I gave him a B plus. So I thought they've done really well. Lamar's kind of kept the team afloat with the injuries piled up. I mean, bro, how hyped would you be in 2015 for this backfield? Latavius Murray, uh,
Le'Veon
Le'Veon
Bell,
Bell, and they have someone else who was good. Devontae Freeman.
yeah,
2017, oh my God, I'm in love. But this 2021, I'm like, yeah.
yeah,
I will say Rashad Bateman's on track to start this week one. I'm excited to see him. I want to see this Ravens pass game, kind of take off. And Marquise Brown had a good game, but he's kind of fluky. He's kind of like what would you say? He's kind of like the J.R. Smith of receivers. He's hot or cold.
right.
There's no in between.
Yeah, I gave the Ravens an A. Like I said, um, I think they got the best head coach in the NFL, in my opinion.
Wow!
John
Shout out to
Harbaugh.
Bill Belichick.
I think right now this year, I think it's John Harbaugh. With all things considered, all the injuries that they have foretaken, Lamar is having a quiet, great year. Very under the radar, surprisingly. I think he's throwing the ball very good. I think it was obvious improvement. The defense is solid. No big names, no big time names besides Marlon Humphrey. They just ball out and they punk you, bro, on both sides of the ball. They're bullies. They're bullies, man. They love to run the ball. They play defense. They play Ravens football. And I love that. And I'm just going to say this. My dark horse Super Bowl pick looking nice right now. That's all I'm going to say.
You picked the Colts to win the Super Bowl?
No, I
No,
picked
I'm
the
just kidding.
Ravens.
I know.
I
I'm
picked the
just kidding.
Ravens, man.
So okay, go to the pick 'em. Is this a must-win game for the Colts? Do you think? You know, if they lose this game, I still feel like they have a chance in the division just because it's
I
not out
think
of
they do.
reach.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm going Ravens 20-10. Man, I don't think the Colts got it. The Colts need to run the ball to win right now, and I don't think you're going to run the ball for much on Baltimore.
Yeah. I got the Ravens 26-17. I think we need one more game, right, Max?
Yeah. What did you say the score was? I'm sorry. I was distracted. I just turned on the Dodger game a little bit just to see what's
20.
going on. And Justin Turner cranked the home run.
Yeah. Hey, soon baseball talk?
Yeah, let's do it next
A
week, next
little
Sunday.
bit. Ravens 26, Colts 17.
And
All right.
before we go to that game, I'm going to make sure we hit everything. We hit this Monday night. We hit the Sunday night game. We talked the Niners, the Giants. We talked about
I think
Browns.
it's just
Yeah,
Patriots. That's it.
I think you're right. Yeah, I'm just. You
And a
can go ahead and
couple
start, and
teams
I'll
got
double check.
buys. That's
Oh,
why.
teams that buys. This is the first week of buys.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow,
I think
I didn't
so.
realize.
Double check that.
I'll
But
double check.
I'll move on to the next matchup while Max searches that up for me. New England Patriots 1-3 traveling to the Houston Texans, who are 1-3. I'm gonna start off with the grade with the New England Patriots. I gave them a C minus. I think we're kind of too high on the Patriots. I think we're probably a year early, if that. We put way too much sauce on them. They're not ready yet. They're young. They got a young QB. Their coaching can only get them so far. They need to establish their team just in general. They need to establish something, and them moving on from Stephon Gilmore is a big sign of that. I think
I
moving
gave
on.
him a C, bro.
Yeah,
Just before you keep going, and for all the same reasons. I think we saw the big money they spent. They saw, Judon, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith,
yeah,
and right now, it's not really panned out.
yeah, exactly. And then on the Texan side,
Did you give him an F?
I did this D minus with Tyrod Taylor, bigger F with Davis Mills,
Look, I
whatever
gave
his
them a
name
D for Deshaun Watson because that's who this team needs to be anything resembling decent.
is.
Like, there's not much to be said. Look, I was like 0-17 all the way. They're a dumpster fire. They are not the biggest dumpster fire in football at this moment. That belongs to the Jaguars, and I don't think it's close.
Exactly. Let's pick this game because I think it's pretty easy. I got the Patriots winning 24-10.
25-10 Patriots.
Wow, way to go. What
Or
up
25-14, excuse me.
So is there any teams with bias, or was I wrong about that?
You were wrong. The first bye weeks are Atlanta, New Orleans, Jets, and the Niners next week.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good. I think the only thing we need to do is do our power rankings and soul pick of the week. You lost your soul last week. At least one of them for the most part.
I did indeed lose my soul. I did indeed, bro. That's
Look,
my
the picture
face
fits so well.
It does, man. I'm you know what? I'm going with the Cowboys as my soul pick of the week.
Ooh, Cowboys, huh?
I hate picking a team in my division, but there's no winning.
Okay. Let's see who I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Man,
I really should pick the Titans over the Jags, but I can't. The Titans just burnt me, bro. I can't trust them. I really can't trust them, bro.
Oh man, this is tough. You know what? Do I want to go there? Sheesh. This is tough, bro.
I mean, you could pick the Eagles, low key.
I was thinking about it, but I can see the Eagles winning.
It's not the greatest soul pick of the week type week.
You know what? I'm gonna have some balls. You know who I'm going with? I'm going with the Raiders. Raiders, soul pick of the week.
Oh my god!
Over the Chicago Bears.
I want to change to pick the Bears just so I can root extra hard.
I got the Raiders over the Chicago Bears as my soul pick of the week. Max is going with the Dallas Cowboys over the New York Giants. But let's move on to the next segment, man. Me and Max did our power rankings. The way we're talking about our grades, you can kind of see the way we're going. I gave away my number one team, but let's take a look at them and let the audience see. So, Max has the Buffalo Bills 1, Cardinals 2, Rams 3, Buccaneers 4, Chargers 5. Me, on the other hand, kind of similar. I got the Bills at number 1, Cardinals at number 2, Rams at number 3, and this is where the disagreement comes. I got the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, the Dallas Cowgirls, aka the Dallas Cowboy bitches, at number 4. And then I got the Bucks at 5.
Who is number 6 for you?
Chargers. I had the Chargers at 6.
6 for me was the Cowboys.
Okay. I
So it
like it.
wasn't far off. I mean, we can just talk 3. I mean, Bills are the best team in football. Cardinals, I know they're 4-0, but let's see them do it a little more. Rams are really good. Bucks we know what they are. I think the 2 teams we should talk about, Chargers, Cowboys. I feel like the Chargers, just in my opinion, they're coming together. Brandon Staley, like, what's the difference between him and Anthony Lynn? Anthony Lynn coaches this team that might be 0-4, 1-3. That's the difference.
Yeah.
And for the Cowboys, we talked about find an identity. What's the identity? They seem to have found it.
Yeah.
And they got guys who are playing well. Trayvon Diggs is coming out to play. And they're getting guys back in the next coming weeks, which it just makes them scarier.
I think it's just scary because now that they found a balance, I think they finally realized, like, they can win games with Dak throwing the ball around a lot, and they can be, they can win sometimes like that. But I think their best recipe is balance. But that's what makes them so dangerous, is that, let's say there is a game where the run game's not getting going. Then you're able to do the Dak Prescott game. That's when it comes in handy.
Do you believe they have too many receivers on this team? Because I think Cedric Wilson can be a good third.
I don't think it's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem. I'm saying, if I'm Green Bay Packers, I pick up the phone and I said, what do you want from Michael Gallup?
Yeah.
I think Michael Gallup's he'd be the second best receiver on Green Bay, without a doubt.
Yeah, get some more value, man.
That's what I'm saying.
They released Jalen Smith, but it was kind of shocking to me. I thought Leighton Vander Esch will be the first guy to go, but it's Jalen Smith.
But like we said, Jalen's kind of on the hook for more money. We kind of touched on it with the Packers.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just trying to be proactive and save some money because they got to pay some people coming up.
Yeah. And then the Bucks, I think it's obvious. I mean, we said it with their grade. It's Brady. The offense is going to be fine. Their defense is going to figure it out as it goes. I have confidence that they're going to win their division too. Chargers, though, man, you got them at 5.
I'm bullish.
I know you all bolted
up really
right
quick.
now.
Let's answer this question, and this will be the last thing we can go. Where would the Chiefs be on your rankings? Are they top 10?
I think they're top 10.
I think they're 9 or 8.
Yeah, I have the Packers. I was thinking Packers too.
I have the Packers before the Chiefs.
Look, yeah,
and that's kind of crazy to think the Chiefs are that low because they're dangerous. But as of right now, I think their team's better than that.
Yeah, you gotta grade it. It's only 4 games in. I'm excited, man. I'm ready for more football. It's been going too fast. All right, and slow down a little bit. Let us enjoy it. Time just needs to stop, bro. Fuck. But anything else you want to say, Max, before we go?
No, man, just thank you to the people who are watching and people who are gonna watch. And I know most people probably don't make it to the end because we're like a small upcoming YouTube channel /podcast.
Yeah.
But we really appreciate it. I don't know if we should start saying this in the middle of the videos or the beginning of the videos. We could put a disclaimer of this clip. It's just like, we really appreciate you, man. Like, bro, me and Juan work 8 hours a day. And then we come and do this because we love it. And we love football. We love basketball. Yeah. And sports. I love baseball. I'm trying to get Juan to love baseball. Help me. Help me. But, just big shout out to people who support us, like Steezy in here, Christian Gonzalez, Joe, Tony, Warzone, all those cats. Big shout out to them.
Big shout outs to all the supporters, man. Shout out to everyone who listens
to the know-it-alls.
Know-it-alls, yeah. Listen to us on
They don't
Spotify.
know it all, though. I'm just going to say that because Ahmad been kind of crazy with this cowboy shit. It's driving me crazy.
He's out of his mind right now.
Zeke don't look the same. He would have busted that run for a tub back in the day. But he a little husky.
Oh, man. So follow us on all social platforms. It's right there on the screen. And if you guys are listening to us on Spotify, that is at Max&JuanCast. You can always go into our description, man. It's always in the description for the podcast. It's always in the description for our YouTube videos. Anything you need, everything you will need, anything you're trying to find, it's in the description. Go ahead and look at it, man. We always put timestamps for you guys too. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We'll see you guys
Sunday
night.
Monday morning.
Video will come out Monday morning. All right. Peace.